We are standing in a beautiful old Tudor-style detached home in midtown Toronto, and we have totally renovated, designed, and styled this home, and I love it. We actually worked with these clients at my old firm years ago, and we had done the preliminary drawings and design concepts, and then they just weren't ready to build at that time, which is fine. And so last summer, they reached out to me at my new firm, and we're ready to build. We were able to relook the layout and make some tweaks that would better serve them and their growing family, and also take the design concept from what was a bit more of a modern farmhouse type of a feel to a bit more of a modern organic look. And we thought that would really serve them better in the future for longer. When we're doing renovations in an old home, we're normally starting with the problems. And the problem with this home, it's longer than it is wide. And so that means there's a lot of issues with lighting. And so there was a big wall that went basically through the whole home, making a tight, cramped galley kitchen. We knew the structural wall had to come down. And so that's where we really started. We kind of erased all the walls in the home and started from fresh. We love this kitchen. It's a great layout. It's a huge 10-foot island, which is wonderful for entertaining, serving, and cooking. We put a big farmhouse sink in the island, but I love the light oak because it really softens the space. And the countertops are a beautiful quartz with a lot of actually brown running through them. And so it really bridges between all of the wood and the white, giving it a nice earthy tone. The appliances were another fun one in this kitchen. So we originally had the fridge on a different wall, but going through all of the different issues we had with plumbing and electrical, we decided to move it. And so we paneled the fridge to make it blend in seamlessly as part of the wall. And it gives a really nice calming sense because it's a bit of a focal feature that we didn't want to be a focal feature. So now you really see the beautiful island, you see the custom hood and the backsplash running up it, which make for a really calm environment. We also knew that if we're gonna put a powder room in, it had to go at the back of the house. But as we had to shift the kitchen and move the fridge, that was starting to really encroach on our powder room, and we did not want it to feel like you were stuck in an airplane. And so we used the backing of the millwork of both a cabinet, a custom door, and the fridge, and then we were able to wallpaper over that. And so it saved our powder room, and then we just punched it with such a fun, bold wallpaper and created this small little jewel box. It also has a huge window, and so while the powder room itself is tiny, there's massive amounts of light, and because it's such a beautiful space, they often just keep that door open and allows a lot of light to come into the kitchen. It was a lot of fun and very tricky to execute.
Thanks for watching. This house tour is presented by Behr's 2025 Exterior Stain Color of the Year, Cedar. Cedar is a warm, earthy shade inspired by nature. It adds warmth to a home's architecture and helps outdoor living spaces feel refined. It's a timeless, sophisticated choice that suits a variety of outdoor projects. Cedar is available in a solid color or semi-transparent finish, depending on the look you want. A fresh new look starts with Cedar, Behr's 2025 Exterior Stain Color of the Year.
The dining room we kept in the same location because there's some beautiful old architectural elements that we desperately wanted to keep. What I love about this space is we were able to preserve the old wainscoting. Now, the dark, heavy Tudor wood was a little bit too much, so we just painted it, and then we were able to leave these beautiful leaded glass windows with a tiny bit of stained glass, which I think preserved the character of the home and also tie into the front window in the living room. And then the last thing we did to really pull it together is create little walls, and you'll see they're little bump outs, they're not huge, but they enabled us to paint it a different color while it's seamlessly ending it, and then really using organic light fixtures in the fluted marble wall sconces to allow it to coexist in very open spaces, but feel like its own distinct area. The living room, the clients really wanted it to be open concept to the rest of the home, but we also really wanted to feel like its own defined space. And that's one of the challenges when working in an open concept plan. How do you give each zone its own personality while still having them blend? And so what we did in the living room is use the custom built-ins and the fireplace with a custom mantle to give it a bit of its own organic space, but it also kind of finishes it off. What I love about it is the beautiful oak built-ins tie in with the island, but their curved shape just give it a little bit of a different personality and kind of have the two speak together, but not be too much of a replica of each other. It is a custom-made stone cast fireplace. This thing is huge. They wanted a really large fireplace, and so we had to custom design it, have it shipped in, and the tricky part is old homes, nothing's ever straight. And so our guys had to really work at it, but getting those flutes all lined up, they did a great job. And I think those really help break up some standard linear shapes that often exist with TVs and fireplaces. When it came to the staircase, they needed a definite refresh, and so we took them from this old curly Q stair into a really beautiful modern staircase. However, we really wanted to preserve all the old detailing on the sides and in the foyer, and so we were able to preserve that, and then found this beautiful custom narrow bench from Earthy Market, which honestly looks like it was custom made for this space, and we knew it just had to go there. The nursery is such a sweet space, and this was a fun one because we actually found out 2 months into the project that they were expecting. What I love about it is this room was so awkward at the beginning that when we added the wall paneling and the wallpaper, we were able to saturate this room and make it feel so warm and cozy. So it's a beautiful sage green. I love how the wallpaper plays off of it. It is just a really cozy space for a little one to spend so much time in. One of the challenges when dealing with an old home that has radiators for its heating is that when you remove all the walls, you gotta find a place for them to go to still keep the home warm enough. And so all three of the major ones in this renovation are painted different colors. They blend in and become like a piece of the furniture. So in the dining room, it actually is like a little sideboard for fun styling moments. Same within the living room, we were actually able to put two beautiful lamps there, which add for low lighting, especially when you're reading or late at night. And in the nursery, it's just a fun little place to put cute styling details that are out of reach for little ones. It was really fun to accessorize this home. I think the team did a great job. Almost all of the accessories you see in this home were sourced locally. We worked with Tonic Living, they're Canadian made. They have beautiful textiles, pillows, and poofs to really soften the space and add layers of texture. Housewarmings is another great local Canadian company that has beautiful accessories that are just layered all throughout this home. And we really love the minimal curated look that was the result. This space, while it's still small, feels so much bigger, so much more open, so much calmer, and the clients just love living here. They're like, it's so much brighter. I can't believe this is my home, which is exactly what we want to hear at the end of a successful project.